learn to love an innovative product that's so different from the everyday? When it doesn't do what you expect or sound like you think it should, is this a good thing or a bad thing? This was my first reaction to using the Dyson Corrale, but how often are first impressions lasting impressions? I recently received a review sample of the Dyson Corrale, and in this hands-on review here in my home, I'll try it out for both straightening and waving my hair, and yes, I did use it for the waves I've got today. I'll let you know what the user experience is like, how my hair feels, and any other considerations about this pricey hair care tool. I'll wrap things up with the pros and the cons and let you know if I think you should pick up this device for yourself. Corral is a cordless rechargeable hair straightener tool that can also create curls and waves too. It has a simple OLED info screen with just a few buttons on the side. Once you use the big switch to unlock it, you'll see the others, a power button and up and down buttons to adjust temperature. A battery indicator on the screen will tell you how much juice you have left. The exterior of the tool is cool touch plastic so you can grip it anywhere. Inside your package, you're getting just the basics, the Corral straightener, which feels quite heavy, weighing about 500 grams or just over 1 pound. There's also a 2-piece docking station / charging stand, the swiveling 3.2 meter MagSafe charging cable, which connects to the Corral itself and to the dock, and there's also a soft, heat-proof velvet case for travel. Before your first use, you have to take the straightener out of what's called travel or shipping mode. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to do this, and the instructions I found online weren't really helpful. Once you unlock the Corral, you'll see a small tab in the opening. It pulls out like a wafer and you just flip it over and put it back in. This is how to disable the battery so you can fly with it. Once inserted the other way, you'll be able to power the Corral on and get to work. Perhaps surprisingly, there are only 3 heat settings on the Corral, essentially low, medium, and high, 330 degrees Fahrenheit, 365, and 410 degrees. I was a bit surprised by this, but often Dyson has a pretty good handle on what we need for optimal hairstyle without damage, so I was willing to trust and opted to start in the middle setting of 365 degrees. Now, while that setting did work okay for me, after a couple of test styling sessions, I did end up cranking it to the topmost heat setting. In a clever twist, you can use Corral in a few ways, whether you're looking for flexibility or long battery life. You can use it completely cordless, you can use it while replacing it on its charging dock during styling so it's always getting a top-up, or connect the power cord directly to the Corral for constant power. The battery life you can expect from the Corral is about 30 minutes cord-free, and in truth, that is not very much. For me, it was definitely enough to straighten and curl, but for some who maybe have more or thicker hair, this might not be enough. The recharge time is about 70 minutes, which is a long time for such a short end output. I'm hopeful that future iterations will improve on this. The recharging time shouldn't really be an issue if you do store your device on the dock or leave the cord connected when you're finished. One of the most unusual features, and the hardest to get used to if I'm being honest, is what's called the flexing manganese copper alloy plates. Essentially, the metal plates that straighten your hair aren't fixed, so they move on their own as your hair pulls through them. Dyson says this allows you to create the same style but with less heat and half the damage. Let's get to my hands-on experience with the straightening. The Corral is a bit of a different straightening experience. Initially, I didn't like it. The plates felt like they were scraping my hair, and there was kind of a scratching noise that actually concerned me. You can probably barely hear it here on the video, but in person it's noticeable. Dyson doesn't really say anything about this, but I found some online forums and articles that do blame the floating plates for this noise. I found the device a bit heavy and awkward to get used to at first, but I'm glad to say I stopped noticing the weight after a few uses. I found myself putting it down between sections of hair anyway, so my arms did get a rest. Dyson says the straightener has a tourmaline edge, which should help reduce static, and I can confirm I never felt my hair getting staticky after use. I can also say the Corral works quickly, and using medium-sized pieces of hair, I was able to get my whole head straightened in under 10 minutes, so the 30-minute battery life really wasn't a problem. Now granted, my hair is already pretty straight, so I was using it mainly for smoothing, polishing, and defrizzing, but overall I was really happy with the results. On to my hands-on experience with curling. If you've ever used a flat iron for curling, you know it takes some practice. Even I had to do a bit of relearning with this device, mainly because of the weight and those floating plates, but I was able to both curl my hair and style up some beachy waves quite easily, and I ended up really impressed by the versatility of this tool. Because the plates float and the barrels supporting the straightening plates are round, and there's that cool touch exterior, it actually makes it quite easy to give your hair just the right amount of wave. There is also an auto shutoff, which will power the Corral off if you don't use it for about 10 minutes. The Corral will beep a few times to warn you before it does power down. It doesn't appear also that timer can be adjusted. Overall, Dyson Corrale won me over because it does a great job of its key task, which is straightening. It's able to smooth and defrizz my hair in a single pass. I also love that it can be used to curl or wave your hair too, making it a really good option to bring along if you're traveling. This device heats up fast, and because you can use it cordless or with the cord, you can get as much use from it in a single styling session as you need. I feel like the Corral left my hair smooth and shiny, and the tourmaline plates did leave my hair completely static free, which is no small feat in the winter. Now, when it comes to the downsides, some people may really dislike the heavier weight of this device, but I feel like I got used to it pretty quickly. Ditto for the disconcerting scratching noise when pulling my hair through the Corral. After a while, I just stopped being worried about it. I think the bigger downsides for some serious users will be the really short-term battery life of just 30 minutes on a single charge, and the fact that it is only limited to 3 heat settings, and I quickly went up to the highest heat. If you can make peace with the slight downsides, this is a pretty handy and very useful hairstyling tool that I think a lot of people are going to love. Its regular price is about $649 Canadian or $4.99 US, and you can get it from places like Dyson, Best Buy, and sometimes from Amazon. If you want to check out some of Dyson's other styling tools, I've got those reviews right now.